It is late summer here on the farm, and I like to get my day started early because it has been so hot here lately. The first thing that I do in the morning is feed my bottle calves. I like to try to get out there before it gets too hot so that they have the energy to come up and get a bottle before the day gets going. I usually feed them a bottle in the middle of the day as well, and then in the evening. One of the calves has a lot of energy and he takes all of his bottles every time you offer him to him. But then this other calf has been kind of sicky on me, and he's had scours, so I've had to give him medication, and I've had to tube feed him some electrolytes and just really trying to get him to feel better so that he'll get on more of a consistent schedule with his bottles. And he's been requiring a little bit of extra care and just trying to encourage him to take his bottles at every feeding. So I especially have been keeping a close eye on this one. I'm really hoping that he'll start to show a little bit more energy here soon. He has been doing a lot better than he was, so I think he's going to come out of it. He's just been taking a little bit of extra care. We have had the best weather the past couple weeks. We had some fall-like temperatures, and I was really getting used to that. And then it turned off hot and humid again these past couple days. But it's just a reminder that it's still August and we still have a lot of warm days ahead. And this is a busy month for us on the farm. We've got cows calving, the garden is in full swing. And there's a lot going on with my beef business. So the end of this month and all through the next month and through the beginning of October, I'll have a lot of beef going to the butcher for custom orders, and then also for me to restock my online sale and restock for the farmers market. So that is a really busy time, just contacting all my different customers, going over cut orders and coordinating all that. So we're really busy on that side of things. And we also have meat chickens still and pigs. So there's just a lot going on. But today it's supposed to be super hot, and I know the animals are just going to be laying in the shade and not wanting to do much. So I'm going to get out this morning and do the bare minimum of chores, but then spend most of my day inside going through some of these vegetables that need to be worked through from the garden. But I'll get back out there this evening to do the rest of the chores and just make sure everybody survived the heat today. Naturally, when the weather is super hot like this, the most important thing to do is to make sure all the animals have good, clean, and fresh water. And then these meat chickens, they have been thriving in this trailer, but I worry that it's going to get too warm if I'm not careful, so I definitely keep a close eye on that. And we were able to set up a fan and then open up some windows in the front of it, and it's actually been maintaining a really good temperature in here for them, so they're actually doing really well. And they will probably be in this brooder for about another week, maybe a little bit longer, but it won't be long, and we'll be able to get them out to pasture just because the weather's been so nice and warm, and which is perfect for these chickens. So won't be much longer and they'll get to go out. But for now, this trailer is really working well as a brooder. As I mentioned, we have cows calving on the farm. So this is our fall calving season. We'll get calves late August and all through September as well. And I figured that the cattle would all be down in the shade already by the time I made it out there this morning, but I just wanted to get out there and look at everyone and just make sure no one was actively calving or having any trouble. And then I'll just come back out this evening when it's cooler and they'll be more active and with their calves, so that way I can really get a closer look. But I just needed to come out this morning and do a couple things to make sure everyone is okay for the day. it is nearing 100 degrees outside and it is humid. So I thought it'd be a good day to get back inside and get some dinner prepped since I need to go back out and finish up chores this evening. It'd be really handy to have something ready. Now, what I'm making is definitely more of a fall-inspired meal, but it's just really everything that was in my fridge that I needed to use up. I had some beets and carrots that were starting to get a little bit soft on us, so I needed to go ahead and get them used. And then I had a big jar of chicken broth that needed to be used up and a roast thawed, so I decided to just go ahead and slow cook a pot roast for dinner. And if nothing else, it'll just get us in the mood and excited for fall all the more. I set a goal this week, and that was to get my sourdough back out of the refrigerator and make some homemade bread. That is something that I have put away for nearly the whole summer, which is very uncharacteristic of me, but I've been buying fresh bread every Saturday at the farmer's market, and it's just so easy and so good. But last Saturday, I didn't make it out of my booth in time to get any bread. So I'm like, I'm gonna get my sourdough back out and get back into this bread making game. Also, while I have those things going in the kitchen, I am going to teach myself a new skill, and that is to ferment some pickles. I have so many cucumbers from the garden and they need to be used up, and I've been kind of doing some research on the best ways to pickle. So I'm going to try a little bit of fermenting, and then I'm going to make some refrigerator pickles as well. Fermenting vegetables is something that I really wanted to do more of this summer because I've done so much research on the health benefits of fermented vegetables. So I wanted to do some of that with our garden vegetables and just not only learn how to do it, but also how to incorporate it into my family's diet more. And I did not realize how easy fermenting vegetables was, so I look forward to doing this a lot more with more vegetables from the garden. Sometimes having a garden and trying to grow a lot of your own food or most of your own food can get so overwhelming. And I found for me, it's really hard to get all these vegetables in my house and then look at them knowing that I need to do something with them, but not having the time and worrying about them going to waste. So this summer, I decided I just wanted to focus more on learning a few new skills here and there, like canning and fermenting, and just trying to work through the vegetables as much as I can and not overthinking it. And then when we have vegetables that go bad, the chickens or the pigs can enjoy them, or before they go bad, if I know I'm not going to get the time, I can share them with friends and family. Sometimes you just have to step back and not take it as seriously and just slow down and learn the ways of preserving, try new things, but in the end, knowing that if you don't have all your own vegetables stored up for the fall and winter, then that will be okay. So it's always this time of year when that overwhelm really hits me, and I feel like I'm doing better than I did last year at preserving vegetables, and I know that every year it'll just get easier and easier as I learn these new skills. It has finally cooled off enough to get out there and finish the rest of my chores for the evening. And what I'm doing is getting this group of calves on some feed. So these are our yearling calves. They were born last fall. around this time. And they grazed all summer, but it's that time of year when I need to start getting them up and getting them ready for the next part of their journey, which is on to the finishing stage. So we separated them off from the herd and grouped them together where I could start giving them some buckets of grain every night and teaching them to come up and eat. And once they get on a consistent schedule and eating consistently, they will go on to our finishing pen. And so those are the cattle that you see in the background here. Those are what we call our finished cattle, and those are the ones that are going to butcher all of this month and next. And then these calves that I'm getting ready for that finishing stage will be our beef for sale late this winter and early into next spring. So when they're on that finishing stage, they can just have free choice hay and grain. And that part is really important to get the flavor and the marbling in our beef that our customers come to us for. So that's why we go ahead and finish our cattle like this. The cows were much more active this evening than they were this morning, so I was able to get out there and get a good count on all the new babies and just make sure everybody was doing well, which is one of my favorite things to do this time of year. Just take a nightly spin around the farm, seeing all the new babies being born. Thanks so much for following along for another summer day at the farm.